Hey everyone, I'm Sophia with Awaken Catholic, and this is Awaken the Saint. There are some who long to know for the sole purpose of knowing, and that is shameful curiosity. Others who long to know in order to become known, and that is shameful vanity. Others again who long to know in order to be of service, and this is charity. Finally, there are those who long to know in order to benefit themselves, and this is prudence. This was an excerpt from a writing of Saint Bernard of Clairvaux that pretty much summed up his own journey to find his complete conversion for Christ. His journey began with the death of his mother and would continue until his own death in 1153. By the age of 22, Bernard was done with the struggles of sin in the world. He convinced his 4 brothers and 25 others to join him as hermits at the Benedictine Citeaux Abbey in France. Over the years, Bernard began to reshape their monastic life and even came to found the monastery of Clairvaux through his gift of literature and understanding of theology. This new monastery would have high expectations for those who wanted to enter. Bernard didn't want those at the abbey to forget the harm of spiritual pride and entitlement that many were burdened with. He would often say there are people who go clad in tunics and have nothing to do with furs, who nevertheless are lacking in humility. Surely humility in furs is better than pride in tunics. Bernard's wisdom and spiritual influence would quickly spread, even granting him the title of advisor to King Louis VII and Pope Eugenius III, who had been one of Bernard's own pupils. Valuing the abbot's guidance, Pope Eugenius appointed him as the personal spiritual advisor, where the two joked about how it almost felt at times that Bernard was viewed as the true pope. What was truly his greatest gift from God, to articulate powerful theology through written and spoken word, ended up leading to the greatest regret of his life. Pope Eugenius and King Louis called for a second crusade in 1147 to fend off the Muslim surge on the Orthodox Church, and they knew just the man to rally the troops. Bernard was called to stir the hearts of the warriors, to gain their trust and loyalty to the cause. His heart was in the right place, one of piety and ideology of what the war for God's church would look like, but he wasn't able to consider the horrendous bloodlust in many of the warriors' hearts. It only took 2 years for the Second Crusade to collapse and force the military to retreat in defeat. Bernard's reputation suffered greatly for the remaining years of his life, but from his humility arose some of his greatest writings, including on loving God and sermons on the Canticle of Canticles, which is where the excerpt from earlier came from. His life didn't end up being defined by his greatest tragedy, but rather by his powerful writings and his undeniable search for a relationship with God. If we let the world decide our successes, then we'll fall short every time. But when we let God define our greatest achievements, only then will we come to know his true peace and our own sainthood. Saint Bernard of Clairvaux, pray for us.